Hey everybody, it's your Uncle Rock again. I'm out here working on this dead hedge again for the third or fourth day. And after the first few days, I realized there were things that I was doing that were just way harder than they need to be. So you'll see in this video, you saw it earlier, I'm gonna actually throw this at the end of the video, I think. I went to the store and just bought some of those wooden stakes. It's way easier just to buy those. They're like $1.50 each. You know, why am I killing myself trying to find the right, sticks that are straight enough and long enough and strong enough? And if they're too green, they're just springy. If they're too, rotten, they fall apart on you while you're hammering them to the ground. So for $1.50, you can go get one of these and save yourself like 10 to 20 minutes worth of work on every one of those sticks you're trying to cut into a stake. But granted, we've got a whole I guess woods behind me that's just full of that trash. But yeah, just finding the right ones to hammer in the ground is way more trouble than it's worth to me. So I got some of those little square wooden stakes, made for gardens. Like I said, $1.50 each. I think this time I got 12 of them, which if you're putting them 4 feet apart from each other, that makes, what's it? Because you got to have one on each side, so 6 of them, so about 24 feet. I did break one of them, so I only got 20 feet done today, but I got 20 feet done today, which is way quicker than I would have done otherwise. And a lot of it was already sitting there. I took out the old, natural stakes and, put those new ones in, and I also spread them apart a little bit more. The other problem I was running into, I had the wall about a foot wide, maybe a foot and a half, and it was just more trouble to try to get those branches down to the right size. You could kind of put them in there. Yeah, if you have it even 6 inches wider, I got it almost a foot wider here, it's way easier because you don't have to break down and process those branches as much as you did. Oh man, something else I did that was a game changer today is I went out and got one of those little battery powered chainsaws, versus using the handsaw or hatchet for everything, or heaven forbid that axe I was using last time. The funny thing is I had a chainsaw sitting 30 feet away. It was one of those gas powered ones, and it just doesn't run great, so it's always a pain in the butt to get it going. You gotta prime it, get it going, warm it up for a while. At this point, I don't use it that often, so you want to put new gas in there, new oil, check the spark plug. It's all just a pain, so I used an axe last time trying to cut through this big, ancient stick log that was on the ground, and it just took forever. I might as well have been hammering on that thing with a sledgehammer that whole time. It was ridiculous. So I spent 2 hours working on something that I probably could have got done if I'd just got that chainsaw going in 15 minutes. So it's also kind of a drag carrying that chainsaw around, right? It's a big heavy chainsaw. You don't want to, it's got an engine on it, a little small engine, so you're basically carrying an engine around the whole day. Get one of these little battery powered ones, man, that's a game changer. I already had a pole saw that I used to cut down a lot of these trees and cut up some of the limbs, but it's hard with the pole saw because it's out at the end of a big wobbly stick. Let me turn this camera around and I'll kind of show you what I got done today. Let's see. All right, yeah, there's that chainsaw I'm talking about. It's just a little Craftsman chainsaw. I already had a bunch of other Craftsman tools, the pole saw I have is a Craftsman, and it came with a much bigger battery, that one that's under the unidentified soda bottle there. I got a lot of impact drills and regular drills and other tools that are all Craftsman. I feel like when you become an adult, you just pick a brand and everything you get uses the same batteries, so that just becomes the thing you do. This thing, that's great. I heard good reviews about it online. I mean, for what it is, it's a relatively inexpensive little thing. I'm not a professional arborist or anything, so I don't need the nicest battery powered chainsaw around. I'm just going to use this for pruning mostly. Or, we got a lot of woods back here too that, during windstorms, which we had a bunch of this week, trees come down, and just to take some of the smaller limbs off, that's way easier than using, any gas powered chainsaw, even the little 14-inch I got. Anyway, here's the hedge, the dead hedge, which isn't the people that follow around a hippie band. It's a dead hedge. And yeah, effectively it's just a bunch of sticks piled within, other sticks. But yeah, as it gets up, I can see like how it would be effective at keeping, Penny, to dissuade her from getting out of the yard, our dog. And she could jump right over it. She's like a gazelle. Her name's Penelope. We call her Penelope sometimes. She's like a little antelope. So she could jump over it if she really wanted to. If there's a critter she's going after. Deers could jump over it. But it kind of dissuades animals from getting in the yard. I mean, that's part of it. It also actually becomes habitat for animals to live inside there. Like little critters, like little snakes or, rats or whatever, which is cool. I'd rather them live in this thing, like out away from my house than, right on top of my house. But yeah, and as you go, like, I don't know if you could see like in those other videos, I probably edited them down quite a bit, but you can kind of twist and bend those branches. You don't have to like cut them all off and kind of like weave them in among the other stuff, which just makes the whole thing stronger. And that's what you want. Like those laterals are in place to kind of keep them, laterals, I don't know, those vertical poles are in place to kind of keep it, where it goes. I might even tie some like baling wire across the top of it. Just kind of bind them together. On a hill like this with all the erosion we have, if you only hammer it in the ground like a foot or two, like they'll start bending all wonky. You can see there's one over there that I put in just for a marker and how much it's bent since then, just because the ground is always like moving underneath it. Put that in there like last year. That was just over this winter, just the frost heave, I guess. But if you have these kind of tied together at the top with baling wire, effectively the whole thing becomes like just one solid unit that's keeping itself in place. I also put up this string today and kind of just to give myself a straighter path back to where the property line is. I'm trying to get this tree so it's not like, I'm not trying to see that people's house too much, but it's going to go back to about where that branch is kind of falling down. I don't want to mess with that too much. I think about where that last stake is there, I'll probably cut it kind of going up the hill that direction. Kind of let me get my finger in the frame, kind of that way, to where it'll meet up with, there's another line up there you can barely see. But yeah, I'm pretty happy. Like I got a lot of these sticks that were in my backyard out of the way. Like a lot of it was sitting right here. I got a lot of that cleaned up. And it was relatively easy once I got that in the ground to, start kind of stacking those up in place. And yeah, like I said, buying those from the stores made it so much easier. I mean, I think, just versus the time and investment, your time is money too. You think about like what you make an hour at your job, how much like time is worth, per stick that you're just carving out of. I mean, if you got infinite time and, resources back here, then, we got a lot of sticks. Look at all that jumbled up mess right there. So I got plenty of stuff to make the fence with. I don't need to kill myself like, hedge, the dead hedge with. I don't need to kill myself trying to make those little stakes. That's just silly. Then I'll cut out that honeysuckle there and kind of shoot it up between the trees to where it meets that line up there. Let's see. Let's put this here for now. All right, it's a perfect place. I'll shoot up through these trees, past this honeysuckle, like right where that is, honestly. That'll become part of the hedge too. Right on. Up to, past this honeysuckle too. Where that line is there. That string. And then from there, you can see the string kind of just cuts up diagonally up the hill. I probably had to take that leaning dead branch down. That'd be a nice straight chunk of it though. That's a lot of hedge right there. One of the big benefits of this, especially in this hill, because I'm always trying to think about like the watershed, how all the water is going down the hill past this grove of pawpaws here to like that log there will effectively cause all this water running down the hill towards us to kind of angle down that direction in, especially if I make that the base of the dead hedge. And over time, all those piled up sticks and logs will deteriorate and just kind of turn into dirt, kind of turn into a natural like earthen berm. And you can keep adding more sticks and branches on top of it. Yeah, that's it. Don't really have anything else to talk about. Just wanted to kind of show you what I did today. instead of talking the whole time in the video. Like, that drives me crazy. As I go back and watch those later on, I don't care about this too much. It's cool, but yeah, I think watching somebody like work and kind of mumble to themselves the whole time and just count how many times they say horse shit, that's kind of silly. I do make a lot of mistakes, and it's funny to me when I make mistakes just to own it and point out, like, hey, look, I'm dumb. It's kind of the whole point of this, isn't to put myself off as some kind of expert. You know, I learned about things. I've learned about a lot of things, but I also make a lot of mistakes. I mean, look at how much I'm moving this camera around. I'm like not even thinking about the light. I'm not good at this, but it's kind of fun. If you have any questions about anything, or even more importantly, if you have any advice that would make my life easier, feel free to leave a comment. All right, bye.